What up, G's? I'm your host, Prophet74. Today we got a new item in here, and this is an Heron 4-feet desk mount overhead for lighting or camera. This is for all your streamers that want to get the camera close to you, but your desk is pretty far off. This is probably something that you want to look into. This is about 4 feet. It could carry 3 pounds, and we're gonna put it to work. We're gonna make sure that we can put some lighting, maybe bring the light closer to those desktops that we're building, those streams that we want to do. We want to make sure we can change different angles of the actual lighting itself. It could carry speakers too, mounting cameras as it is. Not only that, you could actually use this as a mic stand too. So we're going to take a look at it, and we're going to put it to its test and see how well it works. So first of all, I like these fasteners. You know, basically these things fasten up as soon as you tie them in. And then if you guys are familiar with this kind of fasteners, this is like you find a degree where you want to actually tie it, you want to mount it to. Once you get to the degree, you just fasten it in there, and it locks in completely. We loosen it up and fasten it up here, and you tied it up if you want to get it a little bit more pressure in there. You could. Now on this side, this is a perfect mount like this. You can move it anywhere you want. It's like a freaking moonshot. I can't fit in the whole screen here, but it free floats really good, really awesome, especially if you have this type fastener. Just tied it up in there, lock it in, and you can't move this stuck. This is pretty much it's in there. Now they give you an extra camera mount for this is for cell phone, so this is perfect, man. This is something that we're gonna do also test on. The actual mount where it stands on, there's 2 different rails. There's one side rail and one front rail, and they give you the screwdrivers. The screwdriver, which is looks like an Allen wrench, it's a Phillips, and the 2 screws, so you could tighten it up after permanent in 1 degree. Either it's going to be on a flat surface or on a side surface, if you guys can see it. I like this fastener. There's a rubber end in the bottom here, so it could grab onto the desk without damaging the desk, which is good. For an actual streamer, this is a really good option to have. I mean, if you're going to be having a desk where you're going to do the DIYs or the filming or the editing or the drawings, overheads, this is perfect, man. So we're going to take a look at it, and we're going to put a side angle, and we're also going to do a weight test on it. All right, so I'm going to start with this thing here. I center, let me start from the beginning. So you pretty much have to center it right in the center where you want it. You get your screw, 1 screw. We're going to permanently fix it there, and that's what they give you the Allen wrench to actually go in here and screw it in there. The rail system works like this. You basically just run it in there, center it, and we do want to put a screw. We want to make sure the screw's in there. Make sure that it's center, because I'm going to show you something. One thing that you guys have to see, it's if there's a screw mount entry right here, right in there, and the screw is perfect when it ties in there. This is kind of to keep it a permanent area. You guys can see it. So once you get the Allen wrench look alike, it ties it up permanent. So let's go ahead and put that in there. Okay, there we go. It's nice and tight. If you guys can see, the screw is in there permanent, so it won't move out of here. It won't slip by accident. It won't slide out. So it's a great fixture to have it, and we're gonna put it to use, and let's take a look at it with the test. All right, we're gonna start with the fastener. If you guys can see it, it's already fastened tight, nice and tight. We got this part as an option if you want to actually mount it from here, but we decided to mount it from here. Now if you want to give it more stabilization, you could flatten this up, and this could be as a flat surface. Of course, it's going to lean to one side, or you could straighten it up. Right now I decided to go a little tilt, and if you can see, we're going to hold higher view here. We have the also another fastener, and it's pretty tight right there. It's a little wobbly because the table's not stable enough, but we're going to stabilize that right now in a bit. We have this part right here where you actually put your camera in here. So let's go ahead and do a test on this, and we're going to take a look at it from my point of view, on this point of view, and see how well it works. All right, so we're going to take a look at the mount itself and see how sturdy it is. Right now it's a little wobbly, but I'm going to put my weight on it right now, and we're going to do a 2.5 pound. 2.5 pounds on this mount. See how well it works. Looks like it's working. 2.5 pounds. It's almost going as 3 pounds. This is the weight of an actual camera. All right. So if you add another 3.5 pounds, let's see what happens. Let's see if we could break this. Oh, it's holding. It's holding. Let me just stabilize it. Make sure. We add 5 pounds on this system right now, and it's working very, very well. I'm very impressed with it, how it's working. I feel confident that it could hold a heavy-duty lighting or camera that's almost under 5 pounds. All right, so we got the fastener here. If you guys can see it, we're gonna put a Canon 80D. If you guys can see it, Canon 80D, really heavy. It's about 2.5 pounds, close to what we have the weight. Like the fastener that they give you, and it also locks in on the side of it. We're gonna do that in a bit. So go ahead and tighten it up. It has a flathead tightener if you want to tighten it up, or you can hand screw it in too, which I like about that. So let's go ahead and mount this up. And the way it works, it has a rail system too, but you have to lock it in too. So once you have it on the rail system, you have to lock it in, and it's perfectly locked in right now, if you guys can see, in a perfect angle. And this is movable if you want this degree, and the balance is not that bad. I mean, it's a little wobbly because of the table that I have, but if you have a flatter surface with more weight on it, that it's less mobile like I have, you'll have no problem whatsoever. This will be a perfect angle to film anything that you're doing on the bottom of you. Obstructions of anything or obstacles of anything that you have in front of you, which is great, gives you the actual lineup. And let's go ahead and put it down in a different view. As you can see, I have plenty of room to put whatever I want. I could actually move this even higher above me and bring it lower, and I'll have a better degree, more space for what you're gonna film. Right now, currently it's showing on this way, but we're gonna actually phase it up, and you're gonna see how everything, and we're gonna put a little test sample, which you can do. And also, I'm also gonna put a little camera in here and see if I could film some of the stuff and show you guys the bird's eye view, how can you zoom in, how can you zoom out, if it's even worth it. So if you guys could see the degree that I am, I'm actually could sit down straight down in here and work on the actual subject that I'm working on. And we're also going to start filming from here, which you can see. And I'm going to move just a little bit, a couple things, and I'm going to try to sync it up as much as possible. And then I'm going to zoom in and out so you can see the degree. And I'm actually in the system itself. Don't need anything else but the camera, a heavy duty camera I'm using, a 80D Canon 80D. It's one of the big heavy ones in the market, but there are, like I said, I just demonstrated it could carry up to 5 pounds above whatever they announced. But I wouldn't recommend you go higher than what I just have right now. This is perfect. It eliminates a lot of space for you to do whatever it is that you need to do, which we're going to take a look at it. I'm going to zoom out and see how far is it that we can zoom out. If you guys can see it, it's a little crooked because lining it up is going to take a while, but I don't have the time. We set it up. We did a couple tests. It ran perfect. The angle of it, if I knew this was available before I end up building something that I'm going to show you guys, I would have been a lifesaver. But unfortunately, it gives me better options to clear out a desk, get only one desk for everything, for viewing, reviewing, all sorts of things. So we'll come back and check it out. And like you see, I could zoom in and I could zoom out. So if you guys check it out, if you guys like this stuff, let me know. All right, if you guys can see my homemade overhead, it's a piece of wood with another piece of wood with fasteners here. And I had another option before for another camera, but it didn't work out it didn't pan out. I got the Elgato lighting system in here, and it goes all the way down to the bottom. If you guys can see it, I got a little mess in here. Two monitors to see what I'm doing, the camera and everything else. All my tools in the back, but this is pretty much what I have set up in here. It's a homemade rig, but it's been working. I actually use this shelf for actually adding extra stuff, important stuff on the top. Extra lighting comes in, but fortunately I can't fold this, so maybe I'm gonna start using that for actually the light itself for Elgato, which is a great option. I like this little rig, but there's not enough room for me. I wish I had this system here prior to setting that up, and maybe I'll start entering this stuff, and sooner or later you'll start seeing that stuff. Better lighting, better editing, better video. I mean, this is a great option. I like it all around. Might buy 2 more, but I just seen the price picked up a little bit more on this. I guess it's one of the #1 out there systems out there. So you guys want to see or start streaming yourself or editing DIY stuff and documenting stuff, this is a great option. All right, so my review is that this is one of the best items I've seen. I showed you some of my homemade DIY overhead system, and it's not the greatest. All right, so pretty much this is, I like this all around. This is very sturdy, very strong. I did have a little issue where I trust issues, pretty much. That's what it is. So this part, I wish I had a lock. I wish I had a block in here, so when you face the camera down, even if you don't tighten it up, it still won't fall. So I wish it could just include that in part in here, just a little block in here, maybe just so you go in only entry one way for mounting your camera, because the camera is over $1,000. You don't want to have something so simple to fix to actually just drop. I've been even thinking about soldering myself one of them in there, so I might just modify it myself and see if I can do that. So just as a safety mechanism on this system, so when you tighten it up, this system either falls out or in, and of course you have to hold the screw. It goes either way, so I wish it was only one way. If you guys could see it, I wish it was only one way to go. Unfortunately, it's not one way, and you could end up if you don't lock it properly, you're gonna end up dropping your camera. But you know, if you're very smart and you want to take precautions, you would maybe double check everything, and once in a while you don't want to see it sliding it off too, and make sure you tighten it up. Unfortunately, they don't have a flathead entry here, so you could tighten it up with some tools. It has to be hand tied pretty much. So if you don't have enough strength or something and you're not comfortable with it, then you're gonna have an issue. Another thing I liked about it, that you could actually take this whole thing off and add a different accessory. Like I said, you could add a microphone. You can move it around. It could be a mic stand. It could hold a couple, like I said, it could hold almost 5 pounds. If I knew this was some sort of device earlier than expected, than me building this thing, I would have definitely bought this. I mean, during the time I was searching for something, this was not it didn't exist that much, you know. And if it did, I didn't find it. I ended up building this elaborate system here, so you guys could see some of the stuff I have in here. I'm gonna take a picture and show you guys a couple of things how I made a homemade DIY overhead system, and this would eliminate the cost of buying this big old elaborate system and helping me out. So if you guys like what you guys see, make sure you guys subscribe. I'm your host, Prophet74, out.